Hi, this is Richard Murray with another session of Parking Lot Theology, and I want to talk to you today about what do we do with the Old Testament passages which seem to favor violence, which seem to favor violent men, which seem to favor violent actions, particularly when we consider Jesus' call to nonviolence in the Sermon on the Mount. That we're to turn the other cheek and all those things and bless our enemies. And how do we square the two of them? And are we to draw any inspiration from the violence in the Old Testament? Well, my answer is yes. We're supposed to draw great inspiration from it. But the key is how you apply the violence. All right, the violence for the New Testament saint, for you and me, is never, never, never to be external violence. That has no blessing in it. King David was not allowed to build a temple in the Old Testament because he was a man of violence, a man of external violence. So, but there is an internal violence. Now, the only violence we're supposed to commit in the New Testament is violence against evil impulses or vain impulses or prideful impulses or ideas, lustful impulses, wickedness in high places in our thoughts. But we are to be warriors on the inside. I've said this many times before, but there's the old joke about taking a fortune cookie and you open up the fortune cookie and whatever it says, you add the words "in the bedroom," and then it makes it funny and ridiculous. You shall have wonderful tidings today in the bedroom, and of course I'm not going to want to get dirty with it or anything, but I'm just saying it's funny to do that sort of thing. Well, we need to do the same thing with the violence in the Old Testament. Whenever we see anything that appears to prove violence, we need to put on the inside. We need to add the words on the inside to it so that we can internalize that violence, never to be against flesh and blood, never to be against other men and women who are made in the image of God, but violence to be made against evil ideas, evil notions, evil impulses. The evil impulses are what kill people. Are what hurt people, or what crush people, or what condemn people. So those impulses we need to nail, and we need to be men and women and mighty warriors of God to nail those things right when they come through our thought gate. That no, you have no place here. You are an enemy, and I'm fighting the battle at the gate to keep your evil thinking and your dark thoughts out of my mind. That's a good kind of violence, because what it's going to turn you into, you're going to be a lamb on the outside. You're going to be a lamb to other men and women because violent thoughts aren't going to enter into you. Okay? See? And I want to read a quote from Jacob Boehm on this dynamic. Every man within himself, has Moses and the Israelites, the Sadducees and the Pharisees, the patriarchs, and the kingdom of heaven and hell. Thus, the events described in the Bible and looked upon by the pious as being things of a past history are actually descriptions of internal processes taking place in the constitution of man himself. So all that by way of saying the only Philistines you need to worry about are the Philistines in your thoughts that are causing you to doubt the promises of God, or causing you to be discouraged, or causing you to be despairing, or causing you to be sarcastic or prideful or hateful. All right, those are the enemies that you need to slay and decapitate them, torture them. Do whatever you need to do to get them out of your mind. All right. And there is a positivity to this energy because we're not hurting flesh and blood, but we are being vigilant. This is what spiritual vigilance is all about. So that when Paul says in the New Testament, to stand, having your loins girt with truth and putting on the full armor of God, that's what he's talking about. Never against other people. It's like, I love action movies. Now, I don't like some of the cheap action movies, but I like a good action movie. But, I can watch the movie and I come away with it inspired to be braver on the inside. All right. And we don't watch a movie and then I go kill people down the street. And I know some people think that violent movies can affect children, and maybe that's true. But when we mature, we should be able to take a figure of speech or a figure from a movie, a metaphor or an allegory, and apply it, what are the magic words? On the inside. So when you read the Old Testament and you read the life of Samson, for instance, we need to apply Samson on the inside. All right. Now, Samson, to me, is a type of the mind of Christ. Samson has this incredible strength that can destroy enemy Philistines. Hey, you put Samson, the mind of Christ, which the New Testament says we're to put on the mind of Christ. We put on the mind of Christ, and what do we find? We have incredible strength to dispose of errant thoughts, to dispose of measly and unworthy thoughts, of cruel thoughts, of hard thoughts. All right, we have the mind of Christ. But if we neglect our so great a salvation and we neglect the mind of Christ, then we get the haircut. We get Samson's haircut, and then the mind of Christ can't help us until we put it back on. And then when we do, the strength returns. So anyhow, the Old Testament is full of wonderful imagery like this that will help us and inspire us. But all we have to do is know this: Jesus is a peace-loving, non-violent, non-coercive, totally healing, totally protective God. You're never going to do anything on the outside against any other living creature that violates that principle. Jesus loved all men, and Jesus wanted to protect and still wants to protect and heal all men. But when it comes to violent thoughts and the things that keep us from him, he is a warrior. He is the lion. So he's a lion on the inside, but a lamb on the outside. So anyway, I'll talk to you next time. Blessings.